Hi, Nina Zapala here. This is a place to talk about spiritual personality typing. So it's personality typing with a spiritual understanding. Let's get to it. So this week on the blog, I'm talking about choosing your favorite wellness retreat. But I want to get into this because obviously wellness retreats are, good for the body, mind, and soul. That goes without question. And over the last 2 years, I think we could all use like 10 wellness retreats. I don't know about you, but I don't think anybody's escaped the whole, what's been going on in society. It's pretty chaotic. A lot of people are showing their true colors, which is shocking for a lot of people. A lot of people are waking up and going through major transitions in life. So a wellness retreat, it fits the bill for what we as humans need to restore body, mind, and soul, right? But I caution you on this. And the reason I say that is, yes, go on a wellness retreat. But before you do, I don't want you to forget to pack your personality type along with you. And here's what I mean by that. Like so many of us, we're so eager to do this. We're like so eager to, honestly, to escape our lives in a lot of ways, which it's not surprising in this day and age. But in our haste, we've been so conditioned to get everything quickly. Like if we get sick, go take a drug. If you want to lose weight, take a pill. If you want to travel, Google it. It's not the way things work. If you want a more satisfying and fulfilling life, you have to do the work. It's just how this is. But doing the work create such an exponentially better situation for you in your life that you'll never go back to wanting something so quick and just to have it done, just to be done. I know I did this for many decades. So I never speak to you about something I haven't experienced, because once I experience, that's where the knowledge comes in. I can know all I want intellectually, but without truly experiencing it, you really don't have the knowledge. And there's a big difference. So when I talk about this wellness thing, I think for many of us, like I said, we just Google it, or we scroll on our Instagram feed and, go, oh God, this is what she's recommending. Or we call a friend and say, oh, that retreat that you went on that you just raved about? Do you remember the name of that? Can you give me any details? Which is all great stuff to do. It's what we do. It's what we've been programmed to do, honestly. Can you see that this is all external reaching out? You're externally reaching out looking for an answer. And you never really get a true answer when you do that. Because seriously, how well does Google really know you? They know you superficially. They've collected a lot of data on you. Sorry, I'm jiggling because I'm getting bit by mosquitoes. Oh, what fun it is to be in the South. In the summer, it's hot as shit. Anywho, what does Google know about you? What does the Instagram that you follow know about you? She's there. You're there in her feed. She is feeding you her information, just like I feed you information on my Instagram account. My intention is to feed you information, just like I am doing here, that benefits you. What's the intention behind the feed? You have to look at that. And does that person really know you? Now, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying we have to stop and start noticing this stuff and start taking responsibility for all of our choices instead of just reaching out and going, oh yeah, that looks good, but I did this my whole life. So I'm not telling you anything I haven't done. Or like I said, we call a friend and we're like, what was the place? And they give you the place. And then is the friend even compatible with your personality type? I mean, how many times do you think you know somebody and you're like, oh my God, I don't even know that person. And you thought they were your friend, right? So all this looking out is not the way to book a wellness retreat. You have to go within. You have to go within and start asking yourself, what do you desire? The cool thing is, your personality type answers all these questions. I'm telling you, this is like the best undiscovered gift. And I know a lot of people are into personality typing, and I'm not talking about it from a career standpoint where, we talk about, oh, I'm the commander or the executor or whatever things that were contrived back in the 1950s, which was perfect for that time because that was the buildup to, and I'm trying to think of the name I'm looking for, a more authoritarian society. It was a very masculine time in history. We're stepping away from that now, and it's very obvious. It's very, very obvious we're stepping away from that. So I'm not saying, I use parts of Myers-Briggs, but I do not use Myers-Briggs. I use the concept of it. I'm way more interested in your cognitive functions and how all these things work together to support your spiritual self. Because your mind is the servant to the soul. Your soul is not the servant to the mind. And there's been a lot of confusion about this in our society, but we're taught to do this because your soul can't communicate unless your personality type is healthy. Because the soul comes from love. Personality type typically is in fear. My personality type's in fear right now. I'm never probably gonna be 1,000% clear from fear. Unless one day I start showing up like Jesus, which I hope I do one day, because we all have that capacity. I'm working on that. I'm working to get to that level of higher consciousness. And see, the cool thing is, and this is one thing I learned this week, so I wanted to really share this with you because I love it. The cool thing is, when you see your personality type as a servant to your soul, you start elevating your mind consciousness as well. The mind consciousness gets elevated, right? I know, so I'm going a little deep here, but it's important. So can you see how, like, searching for a wellness retreat, asking somebody else is kind of like, a needle in a haystack, the proverbial phrase, It just doesn't work that way. Your personality type is the path to your wellness. The retreat is just a supportive system to help you work through some things. The instructor, the meditation, whatever it is. The retreat just supports what you already know. A lot of people will travel in wellness and think, oh, I'm going to go there and it's going to cure everything. Well, it doesn't. It just doesn't. I was in the travel industry for decades, and I spoke to hundreds upon hundreds of travelers who were on wellness retreats. And I'd ask questions because that was part of my job as a personality professional for a resort. I'd ask questions. And a lot of time I'd get like, oh, this isn't, I get this real superficial stuff. Like, I don't like the sheets are scratchy, or the beach is too crowded, it's dirty, or I don't like the food, or the front desk is rude, or your spa isn't even open till like 7. I want it to open at 5 o'clock in the morning when I'm up. And I'm like, okay, what else is going on? Because with my personality type, I'm highly inquisitive. So I kept on asking questions. And what I found, even if many people were so beautiful, these beautiful souls started opening up to me. And I kind of came to be this, not a PR person, but this personality type shaman, right? So I'd sit there and we just go at it. Because I'm not afraid to ask questions. That's my personality type. So I'd go at it with them. And what it ended up happening is they were unhappy because they didn't know themselves. And what they were doing is playing the blame game, the pleasing game, I'm not good enough game, I'm unworthy game. And these were people that were staying in $20,000 a night villas. They had access to chefs 24/7. They could go to the spa as many times as they want. If they wanted, they could have an in-suite massage therapist at their beck and call. So it wasn't because they were lacking stuff or things. Had nothing to do with the things or the external things we look at. And we do that on wellness retreats too. We think, oh, we're going to go on this wellness retreat. And it's all good and dandy when we're there because we're in that elevated state of consciousness. But when you return home, what happens? You get back in the daily grind and it's just like, oh God, nothing's changed. It's because you didn't unpack your personality type before you left. Just didn't do it. Your personality type is your path to wellness. Once you start discovering all the unique traits that you have and how each trait supports each other, and then you start intermingling these learnings with a spiritual understanding, you're off. You're off to the races. I'm telling you. I know this to be true. It's the only way I got through my 7-year life tsunami. And it was a doozy. It was a doozy. It was not just divorce. It was not just bankruptcy. It was a health scare. I lost a job. I became a single mother overnight. I had IRS issues. Oh, should I go on? So it wasn't like, oh yeah, I've got to figure this thing out. No, I had to figure everything out. My whole life was gone in an instant. And when I started digging into my personality type, I started seeing the repetitive patterns that kept me stuck in this loop. Right? It was a loop of unhappiness. It was a loop of unfulfillment. It was a loop of trying to meet other expectations that I would never meet because they're not my expectations. I was letting somebody else author my life. And how can you be happy that way? And that's what I found out with, sorry, I'm getting bit. That's what I found out in talking with hundreds and hundreds of travelers. Even if they said, no, I'm good. I mean, I could tell by the sheer sadness and anxiety because I feel things. So I could tell they weren't, right? So we gently started talking about things. And for most people, they didn't know themselves. They didn't even know why they were unhappy. Usually, low-grade anxiety and even mental health issues is because you're swirling. There's so much. There's nothing to ground you. And the cool thing is, your personality type will ground you. But you have to dedicate time to really know it, to really see all the elements of it, and not just from a career standpoint. No. I don't know about you, but I don't want to live my life from a career standpoint. I want to be me in everything I do. From travel, in my lifestyle, how I dress. I know I'm dressed kind of, I like it. That's just a little blue tee. That's me, cash. But it's everything. It's even how you decorate your house. It is in everything. The personality type is in everything. But then, once you realize that your personality type serves your soul, it gets really interesting. Because then you don't keep on thinking all of this, you don't stay so centered in just the mind aspect. You start going into the non-physical. And that's why wellness retreats are good, So if you're doing a wellness retreat, and I have done all the 16 personalities, and I've given you tips on wellness retreats that will soothe your soul for your personality type. I'm not going to go into all that here. It's too much. So you have to go to the blog, visit the blog. If you like what I'm talking about here, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, give it a share. And if you'd like, I do sessions for your personality type, because a lot of people think they know their personality type, and they don't. And it's for obvious reasons. Even sometimes when you take a test, because what's happened is we've been so conditioned in our lives Like a introvert that lives with a very extroverted family, they're going to have a lot more extroverted tendencies because it's what they know. It's what they've been conditioned to believe. And honestly, our society is very conditioned to extrovert tendencies and thinking tendencies. So people with feeling traits too, they get stamped on a lot. So, I'd love to walk you through a session. So just go ahead and get on my schedule. They're fun. The sessions are fun. They're very profound and you learn a lot. But I like them to be fun because learning about yourself should be fun. It shouldn't, I don't want to drag you down to these things that are, just the dark side of everything, because you have a light side and a dark side, as your traits do too. So we kind of start there. And I get some people have gone through major trauma in your life, and I'm not lessening that. I just want to bring light to it. Does that make sense? So if you're going on a wellness retreat, let me see what else I talked about in here. Yeah, and I'm telling you, okay, and I was just end with this, but I have to say, your personality type, I believe, is the most important tool in your toolbox, in your spirituality toolbox. Hands down. If you don't know yourself, you can't choose the wellness retreat that's right for you. You can't choose the spiritual practices that are right for you because you're not listening to yourself. You're out there listening. And if you're letting out there dictate in here, it doesn't work because you can't bring it inside. You can think you can make yourself be something that you want to be, which, that was a confusing sentence. But you can't, because you are who you are. You just are who you are. So love yourself for that. I tell you, when I do all of these personality types, I get so excited about your type because everyone has such a cool aspect to their type. Yeah, everyone has shit about their type, we all do. Like I'm saying, we have a light side and a dark side. We live in a dualistic world at this point. So we have those aspects, but gosh, every single one of you, even the types that are hard for me, the types that are very rigid, they're very into systems and structure and stuff, but there's an underlying principle to that with integrity, if you're healthy, and when it's all healthy, that makes these structures really important, and we need them. We do need them. I am not a structured person, so it's kind of hard for me to kind of relate to all that. But I'm telling you, this aspect of that person bringing this to the world is awesome. It's awesome. Like every single type has this such a juicy, beautiful aspect that they bring to the world. And that's what you're here for. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up because I'm getting bit up like shit. You should see my legs. Like, you really shouldn't. It'd be nasty. I have like 16 mosquito bites on them. But, so on the blog this week, I'm talking about wellness retreats. And I went in and I've looked at all the 16 personality types. And I've given you some suggestions for wellness retreats that would suit your personality type, your soul, mind, okay? And if it does that, your body is just right there with you. It's so nice how all this stuff connects. I hope you enjoy that. And like I said, like, subscribe, share, hit the bell, all, the YouTube stuff. I don't have to tell you, you're all very intelligent people. But get excited about your personality type. Get excited, and explore my blog. It is a learning library. And I got to tell you, I'm getting really, WordPress is messing with me because it'll update stuff and my whole blog will just go to shit. It'll just all this stuff changes. All these words become scrambled. I'm so I am working on trying to update that, but they keep on doing updates. So it's annoying. So if you see something, just send me a comment, send me an email, and do get on my email list because I do share personal stories on my email list. Some things that I'm going through for the week. And I think it's good that we all are kind of sharing with each other because we're all learning. I'm learning. I'm learning now. You're learning. We're all learning. It might be a little different levels of learning or different places of learning. It's all circular. There's no hierarchy like, oh my God, she's so elevated. No, that's bullshit. It's all bullshit. Don't believe all that crap. It's not true. It's not true. You all have a god or goddess within you that's uber elevated. It's just bringing it out. It's just sharing it with the world. It's just really, it's an awareness. And it all starts with your personality type. It starts with your personality type. It is foundational. Because once you start understanding your personality type, what you don't realize is that becomes habitual. So instead of looking outside now, you're just going to automatically go within. You're like, oh, what's my personality type telling me? That's that trait. Okay, that's not being healthy. So I need to go back and look at that. So you're not looking out here for the answers. You're looking inside. And once you start doing that, you start elevating your consciousness, because your mind consciousness is elevated because you're elevated in your thoughts. Yeah. So you're like, so everyone's like, oh, where's the 3D and 5D? It's there. It is. I mean, it doesn't have this convoluted stuff like the whole earth's gonna change. It's in your mind. It's in your mind. It's letting your mind be a servant to your soul. You're non-physical. And once you do that, you elevate it. And that's part of being in 5D. So if you want to have it play a part in reshaping the world, we all need to get there. We all need to take this journey. It starts with your personality type. And it's a very logical first step. All right, I'm out. I'm getting too bit up. This is just ridiculous. We'll talk later, and I'll see you next week. And I'll probably have a couple shorts or two to augment this as well. You guys, if you travel safe, enjoy the blog. Let me know what wellness retreat you go on. There's so many good ones. And I think I'm going to have an article in LA Yoga, kind of a similar topic. So you'll get 2 places to find this. We'll talk to you later. Love you all very much. Enjoy you.